Rain, sleet, snow, danky O's. Ringside 3, go ahead, thank me though. Me and Third got the streak so far 3-0. Don't know when I'ma stop, Kush God Speed Joe. I'm Bad News Brown / D-Lo. Special delivery, SD Jones. Andre when the ref cheated Holmes. Fuck from me, better leave me alone. Stay up in the zone, never go astray. Too many doink the clowns was in the way. Got all my pieces in array. You bastards gon' learn today.
Welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a long hiatus, since you heard from us. But of course, we are ringside right now. You got your host, Pierre. And of course, we got my co-host. We got Clint and we got Curtis. Now, of course, this is WrestleMania time. So, we got to give our predictions and everything. But before we go into that, be sure you like, subscribe to the channel there, just for new videos that we put out. So, night one, fellas. What intrigues you about night one that y'all want to talk about?
Well, I am looking forward to the unsanctioned match. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've ever had an unsanctioned match at WrestleMania before, have we?
I don't think we have.
We've had Hell in a Cell, we've had No Holds Barred. I don't think we've had an unsanctioned match, which kayfabe, it's kind of funny to have an unsanctioned match at your biggest event of the year, but whatever. I don't care as long as it's good, as long as it's fun. But I think Jacob and Drew are going to absolutely murder each other.
I agree with that. Now, what I'm looking forward to is the Women's World Championship match, Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. It's a really interesting story when you consider the two careers. They both kind of went through the trenches. Liv Morgan, I think a lot of people forget how long it's taken her to really get up to the stardom that she's gotten to, because she's went through horrible characters to the Riot Squads and now. And unlike the other women's title match, which we'll talk about later, they've had less TV time, but they've been able to do more with it. And especially with Stephanie Vaquer, how she attacked Liv Morgan, I'm more interested now, and I think this will probably be one of the show stealers of the weekend.
I mean, I like the way they've built up in the short amount of time. They really, you can kind of really see the vitriol and hate they have for each other in this buildup, which is a real good thing. Now, it'll be interesting to see because you see some things that, people are still popping for Liv, and Stephanie's kind of pulled off more of a. We're really going to interesting to see what happens, depending on who wins, who loses. And, maybe a spoiler or two as far as maybe somebody turning on somebody and things of that nature. So it's going to be a real interesting dichotomy with that aspect of it. Now, I'm not going to say
they've done. I'm sorry,
go ahead,
but I was going to say they've done a great job at making it personal. Because, you gotta look at when it first started, it was just the Rumble winner versus the champion. But they've done a great job of making a personal feud, personal attacks against each other. So that makes it more high stakes. There's more on the line than just the title. There's also that personal feud going on as well.
Yeah, that is a good aspect of it. And I think, like to Curtis's point, I think that has a potential to be a show stealer for tonight. But of course, you're going to have, Seth and Gunther, which I know is going to be a banger of a match.
Yeah, to me, that's
the short build-up is still going to be a good match between the two because those guys are just great workers anyway.
Yeah, exactly. What were you saying, Curtis?
Yeah, and to that point, and I think Pierre kind of made it for me, but a lot of people are probably wondering, okay, how does this make sense storyline-wise? Well, to me, it's kind of like putting Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle. You don't need a storyline. You just put two amazing workers together and let them have a banger of a match. So that's what it is to me. And all you do is just sit back, relax, make sure you have your drink of choice, and get ready to enjoy some good. Get ready to enjoy one heck of a match.
Well, the thing about this match is, I'm pretty sure anyone who is a smart fan knows that they're pretty much through Gunther and Seth together because of injuries. Plans have had to get changed, and you can't really have WrestleMania without Seth and Gunther. Those guys deserve to have a match. So I guess the next best thing is to put them together. Now they're kind of trying to put some of a storyline by involving Paul Heyman and then that kind of backstage deal they've got going on. But like you said, they don't really need an angle. They just have to have a good match. Booker T and Edge had a decent match and they fought over shampoo, but they had a good match. So who cares?
Well, I think with that one, I think a storyline has been made up, but the effects of the storyline that could potentially happen will be more effective for night two,
Yeah.
if my theory is correct, versus and night one would kind of be if night one happens a certain way, then night two will definitely happen a certain way type of situation when it comes to Seth and Gunther. Because to what you mentioned, Clint, the backstage deal that Gunther somewhat has with um, Paul Heyman, and of course, Heyman having beef with Seth, that's going to be an interesting dichotomy. And of course, I just saw a report that Braun Breaker has been cleared to
Oh,
wrestle.
Okay.
okay.
Uh,
Good for
so
him.
so that's a possible angle right there where we could see him be involved in this match.
Yeah,
So
that
that
definitely
has
makes
a interesting dichotomy there, and something that I think is a grab for attention, along with the Pat McAfee thing, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Unfortunately, um, what happened this morning on It Is What It Is podcast with Cameron and Mace when they had Jay Uso on there. And anybody who watched the full video, you can kind of tell it was the work where Jay attacks Cameron and punches him, but clearly you see he pulls back the punch and everything. So I think this leans to Cameron being involved somewhere, whether it be doing the intro for I Show Speed or Division, or possibly doing a whole brass knuckles thing where he hits Jay or possibly gives Nux to Logan Paul so he can hit Jay and to get the win. So what do you guys think about what happened this morning and how you think that might kind of be more effective or may have any effect, quote unquote, for the match?
The first thing that comes to mind is why Cameron. I haven't heard that name since the early 2000s.
Their podcast
Gosh.
is quite popular and they do film in Vegas. So I kind of see it
Mm.
was more the media thing, but it's like, how do we get more eyes because of this media thing? Because they do have a large following, the podcast. So
Well,
As,
well, like I
as,
always say about celebrities, as long as they respect the business, if he's a fan and he's going to go in and respect the business and not make a joke out of this whole thing, if he's going to take it seriously, then I'm all for it. Now, what they have planned, who knows? Because you're adding that to the whole I Show Speed aspect where he doesn't really want to be there. He's not really a heel character. He's just a guy who just kind of got mixed up in everything. So it's kind of interesting how that's going to play out along with this new this new player that's in with Cameron. What's he going to do, if anything?
I'm not really sure what to make of it. I mean, like you said, it's just more celebrity involvement. Now, at least these are people that respect the business. I'm pretty sure I Show Speed will do something impressive because he is very athletic. He's shown it in the past, especially when he got absolutely killed in
Oh
last
yes,
year's Royal Rumble
yes.
from Braun
And
Breaker.
that is one of my all-time favorite moments is watching. I watched that on repeat for that whole weekend when
You
Braun
can't
just
watch that too many
he
times.
cut him in half. But I respect him for taking that because I couldn't do it.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. But
I
how
mean, hey, he got cut in half like a sandwich. That's all I'm
Man,
saying.
and thrown over the table.
Right.
and you could, I mean, speaking of getting thrown in things, I mean, one LA Knight did hit him through a computer, so you might throw him through something else. Who
Yeah, that
knows?
that
That
was
is
funny.
true. And so that's why I feel like there will be some sort of involvement there that's going to be outside, which I hate because I feel like there's already too much going on. And then, of course, the travesty last year, no pun intended, with Travis Scott being involved,
Oh
which
dear
was a
God.
complete terror. Like, why was he even there? Like it made no sense. Like, I would have wanted my money back had I been there in
It
Vegas.
didn't make sense,
Seriously.
and then it was worse when The Rock didn't show up. because it's
And
Like
like,
if it
why
would
does
have
The
been
Rock need
both
to
of
get?
them, I would have been cool with
I would have sued him for forcing me to hear his song, and because
it.
even
Oh my
after the
God.
show, even in my sleep, I'm hearing theme, 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 theme,
And
theme.
I'm Bray Wyatt.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, it was too much. It yeah, I can't say it, of course, don't want to get any, blocks or anything, but you can kind of imagine what they will put you through all that. Um, I think a overlooked match, maybe because we've seen it before, is the AJ Becky Lynch match. It's on the card and it's on night one, and you got, Becky, who of course is a ranked all time, GOAT for women wrestling. But AJ, who was the inspiration for a lot of women wrestlers now and things of that nature, even Becky herself. I mean, and AJ's getting her chops back as far as getting back in the ring. I mean, I think that could be a low key good match as well.
Now
Yeah.
that could be a show stealer. I think that, like you said, it's an overlooked match, and I think they may surprise us. It's not a match that is on top of my mind when I think night one, but it may surprise us. AJ's in great shape. I was watching SmackDown last week. Um, was it SmackDown or Raw where they showed the video? But my wife was watching with me, and she goes, "Who's that?" I go, "That's AJ." She goes, "No, that's not AJ." I said, "Yeah, that's AJ." And she goes, "She is in great shape. She's in better shape than she was when she first wrestled. So she's got an excellent shape. Um, and she's, pretty good in the ring. She hadn't really lost any major steps there. And then Becky, of course, is Becky. So yeah, that could steal the show,
I'm actually looking forward to that myself, and that's not just Sports Illustrated saying that, but
or Bleacher Report.
the exactly.
Right.
But what I've liked about it is, even though I don't think they've really had too many opportunities to prove it, Becky Lynch's character has always been incredible. With the heelish, the whiny heel type of promos that she's been using, and AJ hasn't really lost a step as far as her promos. I'm interested in that, and hopefully they'll get enough time and just let them go at it.
It's really weird. Their husbands hate each other,
Yeah.
but there's actually a mutual respect between those two, which is really weird.
Yeah, it's usually the reverse. It's usually the guys who can get along and the women who can't.
Right.
But
Um,
yeah, Becky has been doing really good with her character. She did really well with that whole female Stone Cold badass character, and this heel character has been just really fun to watch. So, I'm enjoying what Becky's doing. I'm enjoying her work so far. So, yeah, I think we're in for a really good match.
um, and I think an unfortunate match that's going to happen, unfortunately, in the sense that they're probably going to be pressed for time, is the Fatal Four Way Tag Team for the women's title. With Lash and Nia,
Just give
the
it to the
Bella
Bellas
Twins.
and just give it to the Bellas and move on. I mean,
No,
that's what the point
please,
of it is
God,
anyway.
no,
The point of
Nah,
the point. I
no.
mean, I don't want it, but that's the point of the match to give the Bellas the tag titles. Which I mean, if you're going to give a tag team women's title to anyone, I mean, they're a natural born tag team. We don't have a lot of true women's tag teams. They're about as close as you get. I mean, it was them and the Iconics. Those are only the really true tag teams we had in the women's division.
But people
So,
like the Iconics. People don't like the Bellas.
Yeah, you only do
but they
this
are a
because of
tag
the
team.
fact of
That's about
well,
the best I can say. They're a tag team.
the only scenario I see where you would do that is because you have something planned for Nia or Lash that's going to deal with the women's championship that's being uh, defended on night two. Like, say for example, if Rhea wins, she's got to have somebody to go against. So Nia might be that factor. So if you do that, the tag titles need to be off her in order to have a program with that. But outside of that,
Or
I really
Lash.
can't see
I would
Or
definitely
Lash. I
or
mean,
Lash. That's what I'm saying. Either
because
either one. So I can't see why you would put it on the Bellas outside of that particular reason. I would just go ahead and keep it on Lash and Nia
I
because
agree.
at some point Alexa and Charlotte are going to have this match. They're going to
Yeah.
turn on one
Yeah.
another. So that's probably going to be SummerSlam more than likely. So them not winning it makes sense. So it basically does leave kind of the Bellas and Nash and Nia and Lash to kind of see who really is going to have the title. But all honesty, you put on the Bellas only if you're going to split up Nia and Lash to have go
Well,
after the world title.
personally, I would because to me, Lash is in that category with Trick and Oba and Javon Evans, where you've got these new stars from NXT who are going to be the obvious future of the company, and you want to showcase them and get their name out there. Lash is up there with them, in my opinion. Um, we've seen some of it, but when you're in a tag team, you're kind of held back. That's just the nature of a tag team. I think getting her more singles matches, pushing her to single star is going to really show what she can do. Um, so this would be a great time to split them up. Maybe that's their plan, maybe not.
I wouldn't, but of course there is the dark horse in Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. Now, I like them as a tag team, but I wouldn't mind them taking the titles. I don't think it'll happen, but um, their storyline, especially with every once in a while Lyra having a slap Bailey and getting her to go crazy, and next thing you know, she's winning matches. I'm actually kind of liking the storyline. I thought it was just going to be a waste, but and probably wreck Lyra's push, but it's actually working out.
I mean, the Bailey story has been kind of all over the place because it went from her being the female Randy Orton to Lyra and Bailey being the female Jesse and Festus, where her attitude just changes and all of a sudden she's kicking everyone's ass. Half the time she's just normal Bailey. So I think they should put more focus in that storyline instead of putting the belts on them. I think them chasing the belts is going to give them a chance to enhance that character and kind of work on the story, build the story up for that relationship rather than them having the belts. The money is always in the chase. That's where you get your money. That's where you get your storylines, the
Right.
chase for the belts.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be interesting, and of course, leaves the most unwanted involved title match in probably the last 5 to 10 years, which is Orton and Cody for the undisputed title, and Pat McAfee being involved. Like, why?
Now let's
I mean,
clarify. Let's clarify. We want Cody versus Orton. This is a great match.
yes,
We
that's why I
want
said
it.
the involved
There's
part.
This
yeah, there's
this
history.
whole Pat McAfee thing they threw at the last minute for no apparent reason. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to make this a TKO. Even my camera didn't agree with that. I don't know if they're even my camera just said, "Oh, really?" I don't know if they're trying to make this a whole TKO corporate storyline or how they're trying to go with it and how that makes it corporate. I don't really care. I just want to see a good match with as little Pat McAfee as possible.
Yeah, and what's strange is the whole 25% discount that he threw in, it was probably only reportedly it's only been good for like a extra 1,500 tickets. So it's basically and it's bad enough you already have as far as attendance, it's going to be one of the lowest attended
It's going to be a
WrestleManias
low
in a
attendance,
while.
but here's
In
the
a
thing: when you go on TV and you advertise, "Hey, Punk said the tickets are prices are too low or too high, so here's 25% off," that kind of proves Punk's point.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You just proved his point that the tickets are too high. You're acknowledging that, yeah. So we're gonna get because they've never had to do that before. It's WrestleMania.
Right.
They've never
right.
had to beg people to come to WrestleMania.
Usually, exactly. I mean, usually all you got to do is say WrestleMania and everybody wants to go, but now not so much. And
I mean, I remember back in the day when WrestleMania would sell out like in an hour, before you even know who was on the card.
Exactly.
this almost kind of goes back. And yes, the ticket prices being too high is a great point. But this almost goes back to, and let's kind of go back to while we were off. At first, The Rock comes back, says, "Hey, WrestleMania is in New Orleans," and then
Yeah,
And
and personally, I would prefer New Orleans. In fact, had they been in New Orleans, we would be down there because New Orleans is a much more fun WrestleMania city. At least in my opinion, I've never been to Vegas and I haven't been to a
nothing against
WrestleMania in
Vegas,
Vegas.
by the way. Nothing against Vegas.
Yeah, nothing against Vegas, but I didn't see a need for it to be back-to-back years. Maybe revisit it like they did with New Orleans. They did 30 and then they did 34. Come back a few years later. You don't have to do it necessarily back-to-back, but you know, we'll
I
see
mean,
what the numbers
we
are.
know it's all about money grab because the TKO side, they thought that by forming this corporation with the WWE, they would get into the red real quick because get to the black real quick because of the amount of money that was a loss that was going on, but it's not happening fast enough. And now ESPN is not happy with what's going on with it as well. So money grab thing. That's the reason why they went back to Vegas because Vegas gave them a $10 million tax break for having it there versus New Orleans may only give like 1 or 2 million.
But
So it's
see,
all about counting pennies
they
at this
should have
point.
said that in the beginning before making this huge announcement about New Orleans, and oh no, we're going to go back to Vegas. They should have decided that before. That was just tacky from the start, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
You get everyone excited for New Orleans. You get everyone in that city
I don't
excited,
think
and
they
then
knew that,
go ahead.
but I think that the realized gain on that money from that tax break wasn't until well after they announced that New Orleans thing. I think that's the reason why. Because I think because those figures didn't come out till literally around the time that they said, "Oh, we're switching back to Vegas now instead of New Orleans." So that's why I think that realized gain on that month that break they got wasn't realized until much later after they announced New Orleans. Like, "Whoops, our bad." But it is what it is at this point.
They owe New
I
Orleans
don't even
another
want to think
WrestleMania.
about it much more.
They owe New Orleans a WrestleMania.
Definitely.
New Orleans, if
Absolutely.
you
So
listen, go after that.
Go get
yes,
it.
go get it.
That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
So it's time to give our predictions for WrestleMania Night 1. The card, we're going to start with Division with IShowSpeed going against the Usos and LA Knight. Give us your thoughts on how the match is going to play out and who's going to win.
With this whole Cameron thing, like you mentioned earlier, it could be a brass knuckle situation. Uh, what would be really funny? I think I Show Speed is actually going to somehow win the match for him. I don't know how. Maybe he'll get knocked out and fall on top of someone, but I see the Vision winning this somehow.
I'm gonna go Vision. Same reason Clint just said. I show Speed's gonna have some good moments, and I'm actually kind of shocked that Logan Paul hasn't really been talked about a whole lot, or even Austin Theory as far as winning the titles. But either way, I show Speed's gonna muck it up somehow, but win at the same time.
Yeah,
Uh, I like the fact that you said that he gets hit but somehow gets pinned, but somehow pins somebody else who's
yeah.
knocked out. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. Maybe Cameron accidentally hits IShowSpeed, but someone's already knocked out in the ring. He falls over on him, gets the 1, 2, 3, and that will be the match. So all three of us think Division with IShowSpeed will win the match. So thanks a match between Jacob Latu and Drew McIntyre. That should be a banger of a match. But that's it. What do you
It's
think is going to
it's
happen?
Jacob Fatu's first WrestleMania, and again, he's the future of the company. They want to
His
make him
second.
a badass. He's gonna be a future world champion. I'm going with Jacob
It's the
Fatu.
second one.
Is it
Oh, it's the
is his
second
first?
one.
Is his second one? He beat LA
Oh
Knight
yeah,
last
that's
year.
right. He fought. Yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that. But either way, yeah, I'm going with Jacob.
I'm going
Jacob needs it
Jacob.
more than Drew.
Yeah, I like Drew's recent heel work, but like you said, Jacob needs this more. But it's going to be a really, really good match, and I really can't wait to see how they beat the tar out of each other.
It's gonna be a throwback to an old hardcore type style match. Tables will be used, some of everything chairs. But I think Jacob does need this one. He was out for a long time. He's back. And if you really want to push him to be this monster, that future world champion that we all see, he's got to get this victory right now versus Drew. So our third match, we're gonna go Stephanie Barker and Liv Morgan, the one that has the most heat going on right now, as far as the heat between the actual workers instead of the outside heat. So, what do you guys think?
I'm going with Liv.
I'm going Liv, but this will, as she would say, go down as one of the great women's title matches of all time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an awesome match. But one, Liv, she's kind of the leader of the biggest heel group on her brand right now, Judgment Day. So I think she needs to be the champion. Plus, Stephanie was working through injuries. She probably needs some time off, so they'll probably give her that. So I'm going to go with Liv.
I'm surprised she's
That's
worked
fine.
so long with those injuries,
Yeah.
she's earned that time off, and it won't be too long before she gets gold again.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm with you guys. I can see Liv winning. I wouldn't be mad if Stephanie won, but I think Liv was going to win. But I think there might be a caveat to that. I think Liv might win, and Roxanne turns on her because she wants the belt. Because
You know what?
I think that's going to be an
I'm going
aspect
to
that
agree with you
happens.
on that, except I don't think it'd be Roxanne. I think it's going to be Raquel.
Oh yeah, never forget
So
Raquel.
either one of those, I think. But to your point, I think Raquel is probably the bigger one because she's been the one fighting the battles for Liv at this point. So that's a good point. Now we got the Intercontinental match between AJ and Becky. We both know how they both are, how they work. So what do you guys think?
I'm going to go with Becky just because she's, I don't want to say a better champion as to say that there's something wrong with AJ's champion. There's nothing wrong with AJ. She's great. But heel champions are always a bigger draw, at least in my opinion. I'm going to go with Becky. Plus, I don't see AJ being there long term or full time. This is kind of like nostalgia run for her, and she got to run with the belt, which is great. She's earned it. I believe she's earned it. But I see them giving the belt back to Becky so that she can go on with her heel work and pass on to the next babyface. Who that is, that's up in the air, but I'm going to go with Becky for WrestleMania.
I'm going Becky as well. AJ's had a good run. And again, I also don't see her staying around too far, long term or full time. And as a heel, Becky's been too hot, so I'm going Becky.
I mean, I've never been a big fan of Big Time Beck's character, but at the same time, she is who she is. So I also agree it's going to be Big Time Beck's getting back the Intercontinental title and setting up some potential matches down the line after WrestleMania. And after that match, which is weird, we have three women matches in a row. We also have now the tag match between, with the Irresistible Forces and um, Charlotte and Alexa and the Bella twins and Lyra and Bailey. So what do you think is going to happen with that match?
I've already said I think they're going to give it to the Bellas just so that they can say that they were women's tag champions.
I would agree with you, Clinton, but we would both be wrong. I'm going with the Irresistible Forces to retain. I
Hmm.
mean, now you don't get that much in a multi-tag match, but this team is really building up, and I think they're still gonna hang. They still got a few bones left to pick with Charlotte and Alexa, so so they're gonna retain, and please, by all means, just get the Bellas out of here, pack them up.
Now, let me also add this. I want Nia and Lash to win. I just don't think they're going to win. I think they're going to give it to the Bellas. But if Nia and Lash walk out with the belts, I'm happy.
I look at it like this: you want to continue to build heat with Lash, so that way she kind of gets over that heel heat. Best way to do it is power with is continue to pair her with Nia because Nia's going to always continue to have heat. Let them keep the titles, then they can have a one-on-one versus Alexa and Charlotte, like to Curtis's point. So we got two for Lash and Nia,
Well,
one for
here's
the
also
Bella
another
Twins.
option. Here's another option. Bella's win at
Okay.
Mania, Nia and Lash win at Backlash.
or the Raw after.
But that's the thing with the women's tag titles. You want them to be as stable as possible because it's already kind of shaky. So them
True,
switching back and forth like that may not be a good look for the women's tag.
true. You're right.
Uh, so again, you got two for Lash and Nia, the Irresistible Forces, and one for the Bella Twins. And now the one that would probably be the banger of the night for sure, Gunther and Seth Rollins. We know the backstory. We know we all have theories. So what do you guys think?
This one's
This,
tough. This one's going to be tough to call. I
yeah.
mean, Gunther's got the whole career-ending thing. He's been hot, but after his match with AJ, he hasn't been around. Seth has been out due to injury. I'm gonna go Seth because he needs a win, keep things going against Paul Heyman, and but then again, I don't want to ignore the Braun Breaker factor. I'm still going Seth.
I'm going to say Gunther just because I don't. I think a loss for Gunther would hurt him more than a loss for Seth would hurt Seth. Um, if Gunther wins, he can say, okay, hey, Paul, I did my part of the deal, and now I want a favor from you, which I think that favor is going to be Lesnar at SummerSlam. But he can always say, hey, I did my part. I'm done. I'm out. Let me go fight Lesnar. And he's done with Heyman. Seth can still come after Heyman. He can still come after the Division. He can still come after Braun when he comes back, and they can keep that storyline going. It doesn't have to have Gunther involved in it. So I don't see necessarily a reason for Gunther to have to lose. I'm not going to say I don't see a reason for Seth to win. I just don't see a reason for Gunther to lose. So I'm going to go with Gunther here.
Good point.
I'm going Gunther as well, just because I think, to your point, Clint, Heyman is going to turn on Brock to serve him up to Gunther for a possible retirement angle. So, in order for that to happen, you really need Gunther to win. Now, I will say that Gunther will win with the help of Braun Breaker, which will help keep that storyline going between Braun and Seth and Division. And now you still can leave Gunther to kind of be solo by himself to go against Lesnar. So, so we have two for Gunther and one for Seth. And now the main event of night one, which is Cody and Randy Orton with Pat McAfee in his corner. So what do you guys think?
I'm thinking Orton. I'm thinking they want to give him one last
Yep.
title run before he rides off to the sunset. And the best way to do it would be as a heel because, again, heel champion sell. So I'm going to go with Orton. Then you got the whole Pat McAfee thing. Of course, he's got someone in his corner who's going to help him cheat. So that's always an advantage. Who knows what they're going to do with Cody in the future as far as how his story is going to go. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to go with Orton.
Yeah, I'm going Orton as well. We've already just hashed out all the Pat McAfee stuff, but like you said, Cody at this point, and I like the guy, and God bless him. It's like he just can't buy a break with the fans. And he doesn't right now. He doesn't need the title. He really needs a break from it. But Orton, they're definitely he definitely deserves another title another title reign rather. And as much as he's worked and he hasn't had the title in quite some time. And you know what? With the whole saving the business thing, as much as I really don't care for that whole angle, they're definitely gonna go with that. So I
I'm hoping that after Mania, they're going to just kind of forget that ain't gonna happen, just kind of do away with it, and just go with crazy Randy Orton, who's a champion, who's just punting people in the head left and right. Just go with that. Keep it simple.
Give McAfee an RKO afterwards.
There you go. Oh, that would be the perfect ending. That would be the perfect ending if he turned on McAfee and just kicked him out the ring. That'd be perfect.
I, I think people are tired of the QB1 Cody because now he started to sound whiny. And I definitely see Orton winning the title. But at some point, Cody, he might have hinted at it. Cody needs to go ahead and turn heel. He needs to be the Cody that was on the Indies in
Oh yeah,
ROH.
the Bullet Club Cody. Yeah,
Bullet Club Cody, the Cody that he was wearing the suits. He turned the ROH title into a ring to wear on the hand, and which I thought was brilliant because it got everybody talking. So, to your point, I think Orton gets what, number 15.
Yeah, and another thing is, I feel
So,
like over time, the last couple of months, yeah, I feel like he's planted the seeds of a possible heel turn. But and even
it's
if
been
they
a slow
decide,
build. He's been kind of hinting at it here and there.
yeah, but the thing about it is, even if they don't turn him heel, he needs to have that dark side of him. He needs to be able. They need to book Cody in a way where he's got that dog in him. He's going
Well,
to
that goes
when
back to what I said earlier. The money is always and the interest is always in the chase. What's more
right.
interesting, seeing Cody with the championship and walking around with the belt, or seeing him desperate, saying, "Hey, I've got to beat the champion. I want the belt," chasing after the belt.
The chase is
The
always
the, int-
great.
the interest is always in the chase.
Yeah, and
but
that's
it's
there's a
who's
there's
chasing at this point. It's not even the fact that the chase is who's chasing. And I think people are tired of Cody chasing the belt.
and
That's why
also
Drew. That's why Drew was getting cheered, and that's why Orton's getting cheered because they're tired of Cody.
and
Well,
Cody is ended up is looking like nobody's fearing him. It's like okay,
Exactly.
It's like oh, there's Cody, no big deal. I can beat him. Man, have Cody look like, hey, I'm still that dude. I can still pull out a win out of nowhere, and you got to look out for that. And they're not doing
yeah,
that
yeah,
with him
you got
right
to
now.
make Cody dangerous. Now, I did hear a recent interview where he kind of hinted at wanting to turn heel, but the thing is, there are no. If your top babyface is going to turn heel, then who's going to take that babyface spot? What stars do they have in place? Who's going to be your next top babyface?
But at the same time, what do you do when the crowd is tired of your top baby face? You have to create a new one.
So, who's going to be the next top babyface?
Well, we know who it is, and he's just wrestling on night 2 right now, but we don't want to see him be the top baby face.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah. Plus,
Because that's where
he needs more
that's why I
time.
think the company's leaning toward,
Yeah, let's put the U.S.
unfortunately.
title on him first.
You're right. But we'll talk about that when we talk about our night 2 predictions and breakdown. So the recap for this one, we see all three of us see Randy Orton getting number 15.
Yep.
So what do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts about what's going to happen? Jay, just leave a comment below on this video and check us out next time on Ringside
Wait.
Wrestling.
One more thing.
Wait.
I got to really address this because it's been on my mind this whole time. So I'm looking at Curtis's shirt. He's got the Suplex City shirt. That's really cool. I got the Macho Man shirt. I went old school. Pierre, show us your shirt. Where did you get that shirt?
Wow. Oh, this shirt, which is the Stone Cold Bloody Mary mix, due to a
Hmm.
legendary promo he made about drinking a beer and a second beer and a third beer, all the way
7 beers, 8 beers, 9 beers, and a Bloody Mary.
down to a Bloody Mary. I got this at a handful of tights because you know why?
The
You
best way
always
to
win when you grab a handful of tights.
Handful of tights. And how do I find handful of tights?
You know what? Just go to Google and type in handful of tights, one word,
Gotcha. I'm
and
going to
it
have to
will
check
pop
that
up. You
out.
get all kind of designs, whether it be this shirt like what you got, all kinds of shirts. Because I heard the guy who designs them was pretty good.
I mean, it looks like a good design, so
very
I'll check it
unique.
out.
Man,
Very unique. You're
the
not going to find
quality is
them
pretty
anywhere
good.
else.
I'm not complaining.
Very unique. You're
Well,
not going to find them anywhere. Very unique. You're not going to find them anywhere else.
that is true because I haven't seen these shirts anywhere. You're not
Yeah,
going to
I've never
find
seen
them,
that before.
wrestling tees or anything like that. No, there's only going to be one place you find that, a handful of tights.
All right.
Matter of fact, that might be a drinking game for you folks. Hey, whoever wins by a handful of tights, take a drink.
No, I
But
don't
drink
think we need more
responsibly.
drinking games after last year. I
Don't
think we're
drink
a
it.
bit too
Don't
old
drink
for
it.
that.
Those Jello shots were kind of hidden
Yeah,
last year. But hey, it was fun though. It was
it
fun.
was fun
Oh, yeah.
Nobody got arrested. Nobody got arrested
that night.
that night. Well, yeah, we're not gonna talk about another night because yeah, that was a night.
Oh boy.
But hey. But anything can happen during WrestleMania weekend. We've seen better, we've seen worse. But the key thing is, it's always fun to guess what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you guys tell us what you think is going to happen. So leave your comments below on this video after you go grab a handful of tights, some merch, and we'll see you guys later. Ringside right now.
Slight work though. Watch how I do this. Rain, sleet, snow, danky O's. Ringside 3, go ahead, thank me though. Me and Third got the streak so far 3-0. Don't know when I'ma stop, Kush God, Speed Joe. I'm Bad News Brown / D-Lo. Special delivery, SD Jones. Andre when the ref cheated Holmes. Fuck from me, better leave me alone. Stay up in the zone.